Hi boys and girls, thank you so much for watching this video today. We're covering 3.2a, which just talks about composing and decomposing numbers and place value. Before we started, I wanted to talk about something that I noticed we struggled on, and a lot of kids struggle on. We struggled on it on our benchmark test, but it's just the concept of how many tens would equal a certain amount of hundreds. So on the test, they said something along the lines of 14 tens. So if you'll have to bear with that. If you see this 14 tens, you're going to want to think through like how many hundreds can I get out of that first. If it helps, you could draw it out. You would know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tens is equal to 100. And you'll still have 4 tens left over, right? Because we only use 10 of them and we're trying to get to 14. So then if I keep 4 tens out, so total we should see 14 tens. If I keep 4 tens out, I know that's 10, 20, 30, 40. And if I add 100 plus 40, and I'll just put a little box around that just so it's uniform, I'd get 140. So this should be something that's very automatic for you when you see this number, but for some reason it is extremely tricky, and I think it's just because it's so many tens to think through. But just don't get tricked, because sometimes they'll slide that in there, and they use the word not sometimes. And not, we know, means false. So if it says which one is not equal, we're looking for a false one. So that's just something from our test that I wanted to review before we got started. So let's begin with page 1. Okay, so it says, which of the following has the same value as 40,000? And remember, the way that we sing it is, I got my ones, my tens, my hundreds, comma, thousands, 10,000s. And we always do a fun little dance with our hips when we get to that comma. So we would read that. The number you read, you just read it as 40, and then the comma is where we say the thousands number. So 40,000 plus, remember, it's just read the number, and then the comma helps us remember it's in a thousands house, so 5,000 plus 300 plus 7. So the first things first that you would want to make sure that you are doing, even if you feel confident in these, is that you're drawing your place value chart out. So you've got ones, tens, hundreds, and we're going to see how far they go. Well, we talked about how they go to 10,000s. So I need thousands, 10,000s. And I'll put my comma here. And then I just put a simple line above each one so that I don't forget, like sometimes they might leave out the hundreds place or something from the tens place. And our job, anytime they leave that out, is to put a 0 in its place. So we'll start with the largest place value, and that's 40,000. So we need a 4 in the 40,000 spot, a 5 in the thousands place. They have a 3 in the hundreds, but do they have anything in the tens? No, because we don't see a number with 1 0. So anytime that happens, like we said, there would be a 0 as a placeholder, and then a 7. So we would get the number 45,307. As we're looking, we have to be really careful because you can see that they're trying to trick us. So this is not a good answer because they left a 0 in the hundred spot. This is not a good answer, but I could totally see how kids get tricked, a tricky face, because they see a 40,000 and a 40,000, they match it up. That's not correct. And then I could see this being a trick also. B is our correct answer. All right, which of the following has the same value as 92,501? Okay, what I like to do here is I like to do my own expanded form. Before I look at what they have, I do it myself. So I could label it ones, tens, excuse me, thank you. Whew. Okay, ones, tens, hundreds, comma, thousands, 10,000s. So I know immediately when I start with my largest place value, there's a 9 in the 10,000s. So I put a 9, and I count how many zeros would that be behind it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I put 4 zeros behind it. I add a 2 in the thousands, and I count how many zeros is that behind it. 1, 2, 3. You're just counting the place values behind it. And then I've got a 5 in the hundreds, so I put the 1, 2 zeros behind it. Okay, now I can just keep a 0 here because I don't want to forget my tens place, right? And then a 1 at the end. Oops, sorry. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look to see if we can find this match. Okay, I see 90,000, so that checks off, and I'll check it off as I go. This is like, it really should be taking a long time because you're doing the steps necessary for your strategies as you go. The first problem I see here is that we needed 3 zeros. This only has 2, so this is in the hundreds, this is the thousands. So automatically F is incorrect. Then we've got 90,000, so that checks out. But instantly, it's like they started just putting all the numbers back in and didn't even bother with place value. So that should be your most obvious wrong answer. Then we have 90,000, that checks out. Okay, then they're like totally tricking us with a 9,000, right? So we have to be careful that we're using the correct digit. So that is not good. Let's hope it's this one. 90,000, that checks off. 2,000, that checks off. 500, and they left it blank for the tens place, so that's good. And then a 1 in the ones place. J would be our answer. Okay. And then for our magic word, I don't want to forget, because remember, if you come in and tell me the magic word, then I will have a prize for you. It's Dolly. That is my puppy. So don't forget, Dolly is her name. You probably heard her barking. Which number has the same value as 900,000 plus 80,000 plus 9,000 plus 900 plus 5? Okay, well, the first things first is I need to make sure I'm drawing out all my place values. I got my ones, my tens, my hundreds, comma, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Okay, I want to make sure that there is a 9 in the 100,000s place. How do I know this is 100,000s? Well, because I count behind the 100,000s, there needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So I put my 9 in the 100,000s. And then my 8, I know it has to be the 10,000s because I count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that I'm not counting this one because that would be the actual digit, right? So an 8 in the 10,000s place. 9 in the thousands, because there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 9 in the hundreds as well, because there's only 1, 2, 1, 2. And then this is where a lot of kids will get tripped up, is they see a 5 and they might put it here in the tens place, but that would incomplete our number because we don't have a tens. So we put a placeholder of a 0 and then our 5 at the end. So we get the number 989,905. 989,095. Ooh, this one is a really good trick because I could totally see someone coming along. They didn't bother to do this, and they just see all the numbers they need. They see a 98995, 98995. Do you see how easy it is if you don't really do your place value chart? Okay, so ooh, look at this one. They went ahead and they tricked us by having the first 3 digits matching the value, but not the actual number. So this is not a good option either, A or B. Okay, I see a 989 or 989,905. 905. I like to put a maybe dot just because it's really good to check every single one. You've got 980,000. Oh, right there I see a problem. There's not a 9 in the thousands place, so D is not a good answer. If you said C before I got there, you got it. Okay, let's look at